Okay, in this video we're going to be looking at putting equations or rewriting equations in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And remember, we talked about that before. We call that the standard form of an equation. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to take things that we talked about, equations in the form that we talked about in the previous video with vertex form, and putting them into standard form. So in order to change vertex form to standard form, we're just going to follow the order of operations. If you can remember that, you'll do fine with simplifying these. So let's look at an example. Here it says, show that the equation y minus 16 equals 3 times x minus 5 quantity squared can be written in standard form and give the values of a, b, and c. Now I do want you to be doing this. I do want you to, when we get finished, identify what the values of a, b, and c are. That's going to be helpful for later on in the chapter. Okay, so to begin with, like I said, we're going to follow the order of operations. If you think about the order of operations, the first step is to take care of what's inside of parentheses. Well, x minus 5, I can't do anything with that. The next step in order of operations is to take care of the exponent. So that's what I'm going to focus on next. I'm going to focus on this x minus 5 quantity squared. Now, remember back in, I believe it was 7.2 when we talked about the, or I'm sorry, lesson 6.2 when we talked about the binomial square theorem, that shortcut to be able to simplify something like this. This is the whole reason why we needed to learn that shortcut. So remember, the shortcut is taking a squared plus 2ab plus c squared. In other words, we're squaring the first term, multiplying the two terms together, and then doubling it. Then to find the last term, we're just squaring, we're squaring whatever b is. So whatever the last term is, gets squared. So in this scenario, the x minus 5, when I square that, is going to be x squared is my first term. My middle term is going to be, multiply these two together, so that's negative 5x. Double that, so that becomes minus 10x. And then the last term is when I square negative 5 squared becomes a positive 25. Now I still have this 3 that needs to be multiplied by the quantity x minus 5 squared. Well, now that quantity is x squared minus 10x plus 25. So the next step, and if you think about order of operations, after squaring or after taking care of the exponents, the next step is to multiply or divide. So in this case, I'm going to multiply everything by 3. So when I do that, that gives me 3x squared minus 30x plus 75. Well, now I still have this y minus 16 that needs to be taken care of, because our goal is to get the y by itself here and to get this in standard form. So my last step then is to add the 16 to both sides. Just like in order of operations, the last step is to add or subtract. So when we do that, we get our answer is y equals 3x squared minus 30x plus 91. And we need to identify what a, b, and c are. So a is the number that's attached to the x squared, which in this case is 3. b is the number attached, or it's the number in the middle. And we don't include the variables with a, b, and c here. So b is just negative 30, and c would be 91. So that's what I want to see with your answers today. I want to see not only the equation written in standard form, but I also want to see you identify what a, b, and c are. Okay, let's look at this example. So we're going to simplify this. Want you guys, if you feel like you're ready, want you guys pause the video and try this one on your own, and hit play when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, so here's what you should have done. You should have started out by simplifying this x plus 3 quantity squared. So when I do that, I get x squared. My middle term would be 6x because we multiply these two together. 3 times x is 3x, and then multiply times 2 is 6x. And then 3 squared is 9. The next step is we distribute the 4 through. So the y plus 5, I haven't done anything with that yet, so it's going to be 4x squared plus 24x plus 36. Lastly, subtract 5 from both sides. So when you do that, you'll get your answer as y equals 4x squared plus 24x plus 31. Oops, and then we have to identify what a, b, and c are, so let's do that underneath it. So we say a equals 4, b would equal 24, and c would equal 31. So there's your complete answer. So in this video, again, I'm just showing you how to change something in vertex form to be in standard form. If you watch the next video, you're going to see a special equation that we're going to be using that's set up in standard form, dealing with the height of an object after a certain amount of time. So be sure to watch that other video as well.